You happy?
Oh yeah, more than happy. Appreciate it. Thank you, man.
Last you saw was, it's smoking right now. This is the perfect illustration. I mean, absolutely could not ask for anything better. Huh? Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right, so something a little bit different. We're gonna do this like selfie style. That's what I was just telling Kyle. But because camera guy is not here. Anyways, he'll be here later. But Kyle's gonna get. Oh, what was that? That was weird. Kyle's gonna get going on this engine for Scott Kowalczyk. Kowalczyk.
This is actually for my nephew Dylan.
For his nephew Dylan. So this, let me flip the camera around here. So this is for their single torque storm LS that they've built. So we did not even build this engine. Scott built it.
I'm guilty. I'm guilty.
Okay, so come in here and tell us about it real quick.
Okay. Super quick. It is it's a cast iron 6-liter, stop crank, H-beam rod, a Wiseco pistons, about 9.5 to 1. It's a Texas Speed, CNC ported cylinder head, Texas Speed stage 3 cam, Holley low profile intake, 130 pound injectors, and a cartridge in a pear tree. So at that point, we wanted to be able to do a pump gas tune and do a race gas tune, and that is the mid-level Torque Storm 84.
84, this 84 millimeter torque storm.
And at that point, we're just having fun. This is going in Dylan's 70 Monte Carlo that he wants to do. He wants to do some drag and drive, some roll racing, some drag racing, just kind of a, all around, just fun street car, big smoky burnouts, all kinds of stuff like that. And
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something fun that we ended up doing. So on this one, if you took a look on my channel, Muscle Car Custom Garage, I already have 2 episodes of building the short block, building the long block, and getting this thing prepared to come on over here to Steve Morris Racing Engines. So we're super excited.
And we're not even going to give you a whole bunch of crap about getting stuff from Texas Speed, but that's okay. Actually, I don't mind. So basically, this is your budget build 6-liter engine.
Yeah.
With a single torque storm. Point blank. 93 octane, and
Yes, sir.
so Kyle's gonna do some pulls, get a tune-up done for 93 octane. You'll see that, and then we're gonna do a pulley change and get stuff set over for the race gas tune
110
on 110 octane.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, so it should definitely be fun. Fingers crossed that we can make some good power. We'd love to see maybe 1100 plus out of this thing. We'd love to be able to see if this Monte Carlo could maybe tickle an 8-second pass. So whatever you guys think we would need.
All right, gotcha. And yeah, that'd be getting right after it. Then give me the channel again for Muscle Car channel.
It's Muscle Car Custom Garage. To where if you guys are interested in this build,
And you could watch the build up on this engine. So
Absolutely.
there you go. All right, so we'll go out here and we'll make some pulls on, or I have with Kyle's working on tune-up. Kyle's doing this one. And at the same time, we are over here working on a OG small block Chevrolet. But this is actually, I went back and looked at this, and we have been working on this same basic engine, same block, cylinder heads, same basic engine since 2013. So 11 years, and this thing originally was a D1 SC blow-through carburetor, and then I think we went this F1A 94 at some point in time. I don't know, this has been through a bunch of different reiterations, but this is 383 cubic inch, so a 4-inch bore Brodix aluminum block, Brodix aluminum 23-degree heads, and a 3750 stroke crankshaft. So this is like a 383. And has been making really good power for TJ Martinez. And he's been racing over at like the Milan heads up shootout stuff and some other races and whatnot. And it's always been a real good dependable piece, and we're just trying to upgrade a little bit by doing a camshaft change air to water intercooler versus no intercooler, and going cog drive. So be a little interesting test to see exactly where we end up with this thing, because we got pretty good amount of history on this thing. So we're gonna get into it, start making some base pulls, and I'll start showing you some stuff, and we'll start working on some tune-up. Kyle's gonna work on the LS over here first, as we are working on right there. This one kind of simultaneously. I'll be doing some work over here and testing. Alrighty, so pump gas, where Kyle just finished up at. Let me get this all set up here. You are at, what do you make?
969.
969 horsepower at 6,900 RPM. Peak torque was 769, right around that 6,100 area. So that looks really nice. That's a good, sweet, easy spot.
All right, Will, how you doing so far? You got the best numbers on the
So far.
First hit. So well. Anyways, so first hit. So like I said, this is intercooled C16. So we're gonna try leaning on this harder and harder, and we'll come in here, look and see what kind of boost it's making. So I just kind of took a wild guess at what kind of pulley it's gonna need on it. I think I'm gonna have to spin this up a little bit faster. And we're only at 6,000 RPM. So when I start doing it, you know, that one's a lot farther along. So I just started working on this one, and so that's just, you know, you come in, make sure it runs, everything's okay, it goes into a load, yep, come back, then do a nice short, sweet pull. So obviously this thing's gonna run higher than 6,000 RPM. But just take a look at the tune up there and take a look at everything. Now, you swapped over pulleys. What size pulley did you go to? You just do the upper or lower? Oh, same pulley.
For now, we might need to end up swapping pulleys just because I'm not sure that it's going to make 1100 with 14 pounds, so we might have to put a smaller pulley on it. But for now, I just want to see what we can do with the exact same pulley and then just put some more timing in it with race gas. So we've now, since we've done this, I was at 22.5 degrees of timing on the pump gas tune-up at 14 pounds. So now I've just gone ahead, and for the first pull, I've just gone up to 26 degrees for VP 110.
All right, so this is a race gas versus pump gas, same
pulley,
same boost level, same pulley, same everything. So here you go. What's your bets on what it picks up or doesn't pick up?
I bet you it will pick up. I bet you'll make 1,000.
So it's gonna pick up 40.
It'll pick up 40.
I was gonna say, I was thinking if you're at around 970, I would think 1020.
1020.
I think 1020.
1020.
Good guess.
What you think, Dave?
I think it's to make 1,000 plus.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so
I hope it makes 1,000 plus.
First hit or tuned?
Oh, I was talking tune. Okay, now you're really getting it down there.
I think first hit on the first tune-up with that 26 degrees.
Oh, I think you'll crack that.
20. What was it for timing?
22.5 on pump gas. It's at 26 now.
996.
996. You're gonna price it right.
You guys know better than I do.
996 on the first hit.
All right. Well,
So we'll see what it takes.
What the heck, man?
I was gonna say, and I even went higher than I thought I should.
We were wondering if we were going to hit 1,000.
I was thinking it would do the same.
Well, you guys guys.
Alrighty, so as you can see there, 976, 784. And I was gonna say it's gonna make the same or 10 better. And I should have stuck with my gut feel.
I figured adding that much work, maybe it just wants a lot more timing.
Okay. So here's your general quiz for the day. Did we need to add more timing for any reason?
Yes, because it's a higher octane.
So in order to even get the same burn rate or the same,
It has to have more timing.
it has to have more timing just to light the fuel.
Yeah, I thought on the pump gas tune, I was leaning on it enough on the pump gas tune with 22.5 in it that it would translate maybe.
How many pounds of boost is it?
14.
14 pounds of boost.
So would this be a good idea to check the plug and see where you're actually burning at?
Yes, it would.
No, we wait until it's burned up.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Keep throwing timing at it until it makes less power.
So yeah, better go in there and check. So yep, so you can do that. So that's pretty common. And so boost level to boost level, what it does is it's pretty rare you will make a bunch more horsepower
Just by
putting fuel in it.
Yeah.
A lot of times, most of the time, it is pretty darn close to the same.
Yeah.
So the only reason to do that is to put more boost in it or really lean on it harder. It'll make 1,000 tuned, but I think it will be probably needs a little more timing. You could probably get after the lean a little bit more. What's the air fuel ratio on it right now?
12.6.
Yeah, you could probably get after it a little bit, but it'll probably make just over 1,000. So I want you to figure out if you want to do that first, or you want to do. You can tune this and then do a pulley change, or you just want to go right for the pulley change.
No, we just go right for the pulley change.
Just go right for the pulley change. All right,
I mean,
and then we'll fit.
This is the good pump gas. Put this pulley on it. Run the pump gas tune. Call it a day.
Yeah,
Hey, I want to get nuts and I want to get crazy. We put it's not a party pulley. I'd say the appetizer pulley on it.
Okay.
And then, so what are you thinking pulley wise? You want to jump to, if this is 14, we want to try to get up to
40.
40. 18 sounded great. I mean,
All right.
18. How about half that? Maybe 20.
All right, they're gonna go in there and change pulley after we get done trash talking it. Alrighty, so second pull, revved it up at 7,500. Everything's looking pretty decent there. I am way off on boost, so we're gonna have to spin this thing faster. When I first rolled into it, I forgot to reset the dyno. That's why I was going whoa, 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 like that. So no problem. Yeah, no, that's sweet. All right. Yeah, and it's duplicating itself, so you can see the light line here where it stops right there. Yeah, there's 3, and then continues on. Oh, let me see here. Sorry, I know it's confusing. It automatically does that. It doesn't synchronize both axes. So a lot of people make comment, hey, how come the 5250 it does not cross? Well, that's because the scaling is wrong. So you just go back through there and scale it, and there you go. Everything's the same right there at 5250. That looks pretty decent, but I bet you I am way down on boost from where I would like to be. Where somebody took my freaking stool, Kyle. He's young, he doesn't need a stool. Old man. So we will download data log here. Alright, let's take a look at boost at 6,000. It was making 10. And where are we at here? Yeah, 17 pounds of boost right there. So obviously I need to step up on that and change pulley combination, get this thing spinning faster. That is unhappy about something. Let's see. That is unhappy about something. So, I mean, it's minimally better up here. It didn't sound real good. That's a pulley change. So it's 4 teeth bigger on the bottom pulley. That only made 18.9 pounds boost, so 19 pounds of boost. Interesting. That little bugger is out of air. Because that is picked up at 4 teeth, and really I thought it was going to pick up more than that. I can still work on tune-up and get it better, but it's only going to make, 19, so I think it's 2 pounds of boost. 2 pounds of boost for 4 teeth, and it really should have made probably like 6 pounds of boost. So really we need to put I can put one of my inlet bells on it. That's going to help out. In fact, I think I probably have one of those. I think I put that on there just to see how much more it picks up in boost. But 2 pounds is just next to nothing. And then it's, the tune-up looks fine. I mean, that's okay. But yeah, it just didn't pick up anything. Really fascinating. All right, so let's go back and let me see if I can grab myself a inlet bell and make another dyno pull.
So we've done the pulley change. This had a 3250 pulley on it, and I now I had Scott and Dylan put on there a 3100 pulley. So this is the smallest pulley I had, unfortunately. Hopefully this will still make enough. I'm thinking that this pulley combo should make like 16 pounds, considering the 3250 made 14 pounds. So yeah, we're all still switched over on race gas. I've thrown some more timing at it, and now we're gonna go make another pull. There! Finally cracked 1,000.
There you go.
We made 1,000, and it was running right into blower slip right there too. I heard it start to kind of labor through the RPM at the big end.
Okay.
You can see it in the data log right here. Our purple line is boost. Let me get some stuff out of the way here. This purple line right here is boost. So it stopped making boost at 6,700 and then started slipping that belt. We're all the way down at 9 pounds at 7,200. So little belt slip issue there.
Is there any way we can do any tightening, or is it just?
Yeah, we might need to readjust the tension.
Okay.
Try and get some more tension on that pulley. But I bet you once we get that pulley tightened up, when we got some more boost up there, it'll probably make a little bit more. But we'll see. Smoking that time. All right, so you guys saw it made 1032. The belt did not slip that time, but you guys saw it was smoking like crazy. That's because I've got the tensioner moved as far over as it will go. And when it's as far over as it will go, that belt can force itself into the radiator hose. And you can see right here that it left a nice little imprint on the radiator hose. Right there, where the belt was touching. So that's what that smoke was from. It didn't wear a hole through it, so I'm not really concerned about it. Right now, Dylan and Scott are talking about driving over to Accelerated right now to go get a 10 rib kit and see if that's something that we could do just to patch it over to try and get some more tension, and then get a slightly smaller pulley to see if we can get it to that like 18 pounds, which is where it looks like we're gonna need to be like 1,100 rig ones. So they're on the phone with them right now trying to get that figured out. And yeah, I'm happy where it's at right now, considering. I think at this pound of boost, the amount of timing I've got in it, the fuel, displacement, taking in all of the factors, I think that this thing it's dialed in. I think ultimately it'll be ready to go. If he wants to put another pulley on it, we'll put another pulley on it, and it'll probably make 1,100 with pretty minimal work, so, if any. But yeah, you guys saw me 1032, oil pressure, vitals are all looking good, tune's looking good. Nice flat torque curve. Love to see that. Yeah, nothing too special really going on here though. We're just trying to get it to that next level, but running into, you know, little things like that, like the belt lengths or pulley combo or this, that, and the other thing. So overall things are going good though. So we'll see if we can get the pulley combo, then we'll put the pulleys on it and we'll try to make 1100. If not, then this is where it's gonna end up. All right, so Dylan, the owner of the engine, we could not get a different pulley combination to just change to like a 10 rib or a 12 rib. So what we ended up doing is we just got a different belt. So shorter belt, try to crank the tensioner on it, and we're gonna see if we can get this thing to A, not slip on the supercharger, and B, not hit the radiator, or not hit the radiator hose. So let's make a swing at it. All right, so we've got our number 8 spark plug, which is just the one that I happened to choose to read. Timing, we're still looking good. We're looking safe. I'm gonna put probably another 2 degrees in it and see if it picks up more, if it doesn't pick up any, so we get a clue on, you know, exactly where we're at on things. So yeah, everything's looking good so far. Belt's not slipping, not touching anything, so that's all good. But yeah, I'm gonna put 2 more degrees in it and see what it do. Okay.
Well, god darn it, I'll show you something. I put on a very temporary bell because they didn't have a full-on billet bell here.
It was very temporary.
It was very temporary, and then it came off right in the middle there. But that made an improvement of, you can see right here, it must come off right here at the end. And we'll probably be able to see that in boost and everything. But I'll go in there and I'll show you and I'll explain exactly what it did. And exactly why this works. I don't have the exact bell, so all it has is a 3D printed sample bell that I put on here. So if I put it on here, you could tell right away where it came off. I thought it was gonna stay on there the whole time. It did not. Now, 2 things. First off, the number 1 thing that this is doing is, but first, before we do that, let's go over here. Yes, sucking hot air off the headers sucks. It is no good. I guarantee you, because I've tested this about 55,000 times, that if I wrap these headers and have it totally protected and no heat going in here, i.e. fresh air right here, it will pick up normally about 50 horsepower just on its own. Okay? Now, back to the bell. So that's because it wouldn't suck hot air. Yes, every blower that faces this direction really should have clean air, but you can't put too long a tube. The easiest way of thinking about this is, why don't you go suck through a straw? Okay, the great bit, you know, air suck through is one of those novelty, you know, big fruity drinks, and it's got this great big straw, and you go, and you can't even feel it there. We'll go suck through a normal straw, and then go suck through a stir stick straw, coffee straw. Okay, has to be very big air radius inlets. So this is a big radius inlet. I've been doing these bells for a long time. They really don't do them much anymore because ProCharger now makes these bells and they sell them cheaper than I can make them. Is that air, I have to forget about this little glue that I put on there, but air cannot cross over this sharp edge very well. So it's trying to suck air. Well, it doesn't suck air right perfectly straight. It tries to suck air everywhere around here. Okay? Now, when it tries to run over this sharp radius edge, the air gets all upset and also just doesn't flow well. Hence, this, where designed my my ProVolute bells 10 years plus ago, and this allows this nice smooth radius to pull air everywhere from over here. It'll pull air all the way back here and reel it in. So when the blower runs out of air and you don't have any kind of radius inlet on it, put a radius inlet on it. Period. We can talk about frontal air. We'll talk about frontal air and having blowers and turbochargers facing forward into good clean air. Or NACA ducts, like what's on my car, on the wagon there. A lot of stuff there. We might do a whole top 10 thing on that, or top 5 thing on that. But anyways, you need to have a radius inlet. And what the radius inlet did is exactly this. And you can see the thing was on a mission. It was probably going to make about 1250. It's probably going to make pretty close to 75 horsepower more or so, just by putting this radius inlet on. And if I would put the heat covering over this or have clean air, it'll pick up another 50. So let's go look at the data log and I'll show you the boost numbers.
Oh yeah, this is the perfect illustration. I mean, absolutely could not ask for anything better. Here's the boost line right here. Oh, sorry. This purple line is boost. Notice it going up. Notice ping right there. All of a sudden, the inlet bell came off because they don't have it permanently fastened. I just had it glued on. Thought I could get away with one hit on it just to prove it out. Boost flatlines and goes away. Right there. That is an absolute perfect illustration of what it was doing. Now, if we bring back our last comparative log here, and you can see right here, it's not a lot, but I'll explain that too. The solid purple line is with the bell, and the dotted line is without the bell. You can see that solid line goes and went right back exactly to what it was without the bell. But it was only making about a pound, 1 pound more boost. Yeah, 1 pound more boost. Now that 1 pound more boost picked up a bunch of pretty good amount of horsepower right there. We can see right here from, let's see, bell to no bell. Let me get rid of this one and this one, this one. There we go. Now this is no bell, the blue line, versus bell, the purple line. So we were right in the range of 1171 there and 51 or 15. So almost, that'd be 55, about 55 horsepower for that 1 pound of boost. But we didn't gain 55 horsepower per pound of boost when we went from the pulley change. All right. So here, we're just using this because the bell came off somewhere right in this range. So we'll just use this number right here. 1171 and that's 60 horsepower, and then right here 5271. So that's let's see, sorry, here, let's go back over here to look at the results table. Maybe I can get it there better. All right, this is better. All right, so we just use a straight out comparison number. Let's just pick out 7,000. 1076, 1128 with a pulley change. So that is basically 50 horsepower, 52 horsepower. Then we go to the inlet bell on its own. Went up to 76, which is, and this was 2 pounds of boost. 2 pounds of boost netted us only 50 horsepower. 1 pound of boost here netted us 50 horsepower. More than 50, a little over 50 horsepower. Sorry, I'm not going to do the math right now. But what the reason is this 2 pounds of boost number is bad air. Let's see if I can, I'm not sure if this highlights the whole thing or, oh yeah, it does. There you go. We're just going to use these numbers, okay? 1076, 1128, 1176. Okay? This 2 pounds of boost was right here is bad, not smooth air. This 1 pound of boost that made almost the same amount is good, clean, radius air. So little things to learn and know and understand about the air inlets. Turbochargers are a little bit different because they usually have a radius, and a lot of times they'll have a outer ring around the outside, which is an anti-surge ring. There's a bunch of stuff that's going on there. But I think that almost everything does and can benefit from some form of inlet bell, and everything in the world benefits from having your turbocharger, supercharger facing forward into clean air.
stick your hand out the window going 200 mile an hour and see what your hand does. Okay. So really interesting there. The thing was definitely on its way to, if I had to guess, looks like it was on its way to making 1200 and probably, what's this number right here? Yeah, 12, probably about 1220 or so. Yeah, I'd say probably about 1220 is where it was going to make it to. 1220, maybe 1225, something like that. So pretty good, but this thing is just flat out of supercharger in this kind of application, that many cubic inch and everything. So I still think it's really good. It's good. It's safe. It's nice. It's making good power, good torque. Everything looks pretty darn good. I think that's all we got for it. There's not much more to do to this. I mean, we can make another 50 by making it clean, cool air all the way across, not sucking hot air and converting it into cool air. Yeah, I mean, there might be a little bit nickel and dime stuff in the tune-up that we could really go after, and I'll maybe take a look at that just a little bit more. But I think the rest of it would just get sorted out in the car. So I think it's a real good piece for TJ. I think it's going to pick up. I think things are going to be good for him, and even more consistent and even more reliable than what it was in the past.
I don't remember what it was. You said 1065, I think. Yeah, 10.
Closest to the dollar win.
No, I thought I said 1067, but okay.
1077.
1067.
Oh, send 10.
Maybe I said 1065.
We'll see. Well, I don't know. Maybe we'll really like another.
We'll have to go back on that one.
Oh, 1065.
Oh,
Did it say 1065?
1065. That's a good guess.
I've been doing this a while.
So, 1065 was a really good guess from my dad for 2 degrees.
what did you say originally? It was 1077.
What did you say the first time? I said 1065 the first time. You changed it to 1067.
No, when he said 1068, I thought maybe I said 1067, but I prefer to think 1065.
Yeah. So that's pretty good. Let's go back here and let's look at the graph. So there's our with 2 degrees versus without 2 degrees. Obviously the lower of the two lines is with 30 degrees. This dark green line is our power figure at 32 degrees. Yep, so we're a little bit more horsepower, a little bit more torque. 10 foot-pounds more torque and just about 10 more horsepower. So everything is looking pretty good. What do you think?
At that point of the new machine returns where it's like,
Yeah.
we're tapped out.
We'll probably leave it right there, is what I'm thinking. That's where I know it's still safe and we're not picking up any by gaining, another couple degrees of timing. So.
My phone just died.
Oh, man.
Well, I gotta go through and I gotta delete some stuff from. I think all my data just went up. So, but it got you finishing up on that portion of it. I just gotta pull some stuff out. I will fix that before the next end of what you gotta do.
Yeah.
So,
What do you think, man?
32.
You happy?
Oh yeah, more than happy. Appreciate
There,
it. Thank
buddy.
you, man.
All right, so let me tell you what I did. So last you saw was I was it's smoking right now because the header wrap that I got on there has probably got some oil on it. I'll go in there and talk to you about that. So customer says, man, he says, it should be making more horsepower than that. I said, yeah, I know. This thing is kind of down on boost. I think maybe we can spin it faster. Okay, so I went in and I go, all right, let's put the bell on permanent like. We'll go and look at that. And let's wrap the headers. Like I said, hey, that's worth horsepower. And I'm going to spin this blower up to max RPM. So we're spinning at 74,000 RPM. That is what the blower max is. So, because we need to make some more horsepower on this thing. So we'll go in there and see why the thing's still smoking. Yeah. Yeah, and it's just smoking because I covered up the header wrap here. You can see how hot, obviously you know how hot stuff is. Put it on the bell permanent with a nice clamp. Got that on there, so that's all good. Now, let's go look at a comparison. So that's the first hit I made compared to the last one you guys saw where the bell fell off. So let's go look at that thing. All right, so we made, you can see right here, we made 1,070, 940 foot-pounds of torque. And now this was just at low RPM because I just wanted to do a nice one to go verify my tune-up, make sure everything looks good. Let me get rid of all these little poles here. All right, so this is the previous, the purple pole is the one where it made 1200, 1208, and then the bell came off right around this area. And you've seen that in that log. So this is the new one. So the red right there, so we're 1,070 versus, so that's 130 horsepower pickup. All right, so we're getting somewhere here. That's looking better. All right, so let's see what kind of boost we picked up. Previously we were at 19, I think it made. This is the next day, so let me double check that. Previously, right where that bell came off, right down here in that funny little spot. Oop, sorry.
You did the same thing yesterday.
I did the same thing yesterday, yeah. Right here, that little, that's where the bell came off, right there. And that was at 19. So yeah, it wasn't gonna make wasn't like it was gonna make 20 pounds of boost or anything. It's 19. Oh, and it made 1 pound more boost, but it was nice clean air. So now we got nice clean air, nice cooler air because we got it wrapped up, and we'll see what kind of boost it made now. And that was at, oh, let's go back, sorry. That was at, because we only ran this one up to 6,000 RPM. So at 6,000 RPM before, it was 12 pounds of boost. Now let's see what we're at. All right, so yeah, this thing is 6,000 RPM. Bing, 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 bing. 16 pounds of boost. Okay, so it has picked up 4 pounds of boost. Now that's a lot bigger increase there. So 4 pounds of boost versus the 12, and that 12 was with the inlet bell on it and everything. So versus, so that'd be 11 without. It would be 11 pounds without the inlet bell. All right, so that is good, but this is the reason why we do little short pulls like this, because this thing is just throwing a bunch of fuel at it here at the end. 18%, probably go up to, yeah, 18%, 19%. So I need to go back into this thing and fix the fuel map. Even at the least it was, 11% fuel. So I need to go in and we will change the fuel, because that is in an area that I have not tuned this yet. Let's see. Save that. Minimize this. And there's other ways of doing this, but this is kind of the way I prefer doing it. Because we can't do this, I think. No, we can't. Yes, can't say. Let's see, base fuel. Go over here to BE numbers. Yeah, so this thing is all sorts of unhappy right there. When they get these really great big percentages right after you tipped in, right after you went to wide open throttle, a lot of times that is just tip in fuel. I'll go in. I should be able to go in and fix that too. So, because that light green line is wide open throttle. Might want to zoom in on that more so they can see it. And this little darker green line is closed loop compensation. Well, it goes up, it spikes up at 50%. Well, I guarantee it doesn't need 50% more fuel right there, but it does need just a little bit more acceleration fuel. It's latent, so it's not perfectly on time there. But the numbers I'm really concerned with are these right here, because when it steadies and it actually pulls the engine back down, it's basically in the same cells and it's only adding 25%. So I know that 50% is not correct. But right through here it is. That is 20%, 21%. Yeah, all the way down to 11. Okay, so we'll come in here, and that is probably, let's see what injector this has. I forget without going in there and actually looking at it. Oh, it's got a 160 Holley in it. The 160 Holley is, that's all doable, so that's pretty decent. But when VE numbers get out of line, a little bit of tuning tip for tuning tip for you. There you go. When numbers get way out of line, where they're going to be on this, where they're like at 125, 130% efficient, that just means that the fuel injector numbers, something is wrong in the setup, and the fuel numbers efficiency number is reflected because something's wrong or different on the fuel flow. Sorry, not fuel flow, on the injector numbers itself. Injectors have all these numbers they need: offset, dead time, yada 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 yada. So to make them really good and accurate. So let me double check my fuel pressure here. I'll come in, I'm going to richen this thing up, make sure everything's all good. We'll probably make it like a 7. Well, probably will rev it up on this next one because I know what it wants now, where it was at. Glad I didn't just run it all the way out. Always remember that. Don't just make a wholesale change and then run a full pass. It's a good way of burning up stuff. Anyways, so I'm going to go in. That's why we did that. Make changes and come back and make another hit. So I need to go in and fix up the exhaust here, but obviously probably pull back a little bit early on that. Not a big deal. And you could actually see there in the dyno room, which is pretty rare to have exhaust go in the dyno room. I'm leaving that fan on because I need to clear it all out. But the it started getting sooty in there. It was getting dark. So we're definitely a little rich. Well, there you go. Now, this darn header wrap, it must have got oily from something. Somebody must have spilled something on it. Alrighty, so we'll get rid of that. There we go. Bring up our graph. So we'll go in and look at the spark plugs. I'll pull some of those things out. I know it is still plenty safe. And looking at it here, this is me pulling on the throttle, pulling back on throttle a little bit early, but I mean, it all looks pretty good. That's pretty nice. It's nice, broad, flat. It's making its peak torque up there, you know, 6,800 or so. 900 RPM is peak torque, and peak horsepower here was 73, 72, so 7,400. Probably would be actually a little bit higher if we started leaning on it up here. But I know that it is rich, and we're probably a little bit under timed for this engine. Intercooled C16 is like the safest fuel ever created. I mean, it is just safe, and it will take timing like you cannot believe, and it'll be leaned out like you can't believe. It is so gall darn safe. And I'm not leaning out there. I think this thing will end up I think this thing's actually going to end up probably, you know, being a little closer to 1500 horsepower, same boost level, same everything, just when you start leaning on it. But leaning on it here just is not doing a whole lot other than just leaning on it. Got a really good, nice base, good spot for TJ to start working on the car chassis. I'm saying, I know that it made 1169 or something like that the last time we dynoed it here, and that's where he's running the car at. So we know it's, you know, it's better. So we'll get them all sorted out here and have them run at that. But let's go ahead and take a look at some spark plugs. I'll get some out and show you, and I can show you how. I know for a fact it's rich. We didn't change anything there, just put the exhaust in it, and you saw how sooty it was when the exhaust blew off because it started blowing all the black smoke into the room. Alrighty, so let's take a look at the tune-up stuff. Downloaded the data log, and we did make a grand total of 25 pounds of boost, 25.4 pounds of boost. That's looking really good. Tune-up is still taking some fuel away, so I'm not upset with that, but it is really remarkable how, like I said, how lean you can run these things. So on this fuel, it's really quite remarkable. But I think everything's looking really good there. The other pulley combination was 19 pounds of boost. This is 25 pounds of boost, and so it's actually pretty interesting because this is a I went 4 teeth and it picked up 1 pound of boost. I now went another 4 teeth and it picked up, let me think, how is it? I picked up another 5. So there is a efficiency spot somewhere in there that must be pretty darn good. Got to think about that for a little bit. I don't mess around with a small blower all that often, so and we didn't specifically build this engine for that blower. This, way back in the day, this thing started out with a D1 SC. So just a little streetcar deal. It just keeps on getting progressively more and more, pushing it now. But anyways, I think it looks real good. Let's go ahead and take a look at spark plugs and stuff. I'll pull some out and take a look at it. Alrighty, so I just pulled out this side of spark plugs. I've already pulled plugs on this a few times. Let me turn out the fan here, and you can see that it is looking pretty safe. I mean, that one's still a little short on timing. If we wanted to go in and do some individual cylinder tuning, alright, if we want to come in and do some individual cylinder tuning, I would definitely get after this plug a little bit, this one a little bit, leave that one alone, and probably here. So these 3 are actually still short, just a tick on timing, and all of them are quite rich, probably by like 0.2, maybe a little bit more air fuel ratio. They're quite rich, and we can see that. So we can obviously keep on leaning on this thing and try making peak dyno horsepower, but I want to see what it does in the car, what it responds to best in the car. So anyways, I think that, you know, this thing is a long-term project for TJ, and it's just a nice, good little small block Chevy. So I don't think there's a ton left. Now so these blowers can make more horsepower on other engines. This engine is not the ultimate engine for that blower. We can make more. We can have more compression ratio in it, which would make more horsepower, take less timing. There's a lot of things here where this is not the premier engine for this exact application. So don't get hung up on that. I've seen that blower make this much horsepower on somebody else. Whatever. It's a different engine combination, different deal. This is still a really good, safe, general, honestly, could be a street driver if you really wanted him to be. I think he might actually do it that way too. But anyways, I think this thing's really good. I think he's going to be happy with it, and give him a call and let him sort out the rest of the tune there. So, cool, old school small block Chevrolet power. Anyways, I'm Steve Morris. Have a great day.